Welcome to midweek 5. I trust you're having a good week. A few people have asked me where the cows have gone, so the cows are back now in the background. Just want to bring you a couple of verses from Hebrews chapter 10. Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise. And let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. I saw a funny cartoon the other day of a woman in her slippers and dressing gown with her hair all frizzy walking down the aisle of a church. And the comment said that something about Mrs. Brown getting a bit too used to church under lockdown. I know some of you have commented that you prefer church online, sitting up in bed with your coffee. Not that this is as good as Jeremy's coffee, of course, but let's face it, sometimes it's a struggle to get out to a meeting, whether it be a service or a home group, especially in winter when it's cold and wet and warm bed or fire is tempting. And that's me, the pastor. So, but now we're still in lockdown and physical services are still going to be a few weeks away. We've been debating as a team how much we're going to continue online after this is all over. And I think the conclusion we've come to is that we need to continue to invest in online space. It's an easy entry point for people searching. It's a useful way to stay connected if you're sick or at home with sick kids, or even if you're doing something else on Sunday morning. But it does raise the question of how important actually is it to get together? Do we need to have services at all? Could we just nurture our faith from online content? There's a whole range of online content at the moment one can browse through. In a world that's very individualistic, this can be a tempting proposition. However, at its core, Christianity is communal. It's about connecting with God, but equally it's about connecting with one another. Now, that can happen to a limited degree online, but it's no substitute for face-to-face meeting. We need each other. We need a hug. We need a word of encouragement, a smile. We need others to hold us accountable. We need to be known. We gain strength as we come together and see others worshipping. God speaks to us individually, but also to us as a community of people. This can happen through prophecy, through worship and teaching. God's Spirit is present in a unique way when we are together. There are many encouragements in the New Testament about how we relate to one another. We're to care for one another, accept one another, love one another, forgive, share, encourage. All build up, all words of community. It's very easy in our individualistic culture to think that Christianity is just about God and me. When it comes to meeting together, we act as if services are some kind of consumer product, like a conference or a concert. Actually, meeting together is not something we consume. It's a spiritual act of worship in itself. We come together because God tells us to, and as we do, God promises to meet with us corporately. Jesus said, when 2 or 3 come together, there he is present. I think we've all missed connecting with others during lockdown. But one question we all have to ask is what we're doing to build up community ourselves. We often crave community in times of need, but have never actually invested in building community. When people complain that no one from the church has visited, I sometimes ask them, if I'm feeling brave, who have you built relationship with? Of course, the question often has an unwritten expectation that the pastor should have visited. People don't like to be held to account for what they've done. But community doesn't happen by itself, or even just by passively being in the same building. It's built by prioritizing, coming together, and building connections. As we start moving out of lockdown, I want to encourage you to consider how you are building community. As the writer to Hebrews says, don't neglect meeting together. Consider who you're investing in to encourage and to motivate to good works. We're designed to be in community with one another. May God bless.